I did like 10 shows a night. So it was kind of like this like crazy
10
sporadic
shows a night.
10 shows a night every Saturday night. Yeah.
Let's start by talking about your status. Before we get into everything that you have done and your relevance today, I want to ask you, when people hear the name Kevin Aviance, when or what do you hope they understand about who you are? Do you want them to sort of
Um,
zone in on ballroom legend, club kid, survivor, diva? What comes
One
to
of a
mind?
kind. I feel like one of a kind, someone who's just, had a dream and just, one by step, just like move forward and still here. You know what I mean? I'm
Hmm.
so here still. You know what I mean? I'm still doing things. I'm still present. As much as it is legendary and all that stuff, it's like I'm very much about the future and about the present and future mostly,
Yeah.
I try not to remember too much back in the past because I thank God they don't have those videotapes. But but we didn't have phones back then. But I definitely know myself better now than ever. Back then I didn't know myself, so
Mm,
it was kind of like with no handbook. You know what I mean? I was just doing things. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Where now it's just kind of like I'm not going to go down that road now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I kind of want to zone in actually in something you just said there. Like, thank God they didn't have cameras. There's heaps of moments I'm
Yes.
thankful to Almighty Gaga or whoever that there is no
Yes.
there was no cameras around for some of my early days clubbing. But let's flip it round. What is something from your past, your origin story, where perhaps you did wish there was a video camera or somebody videotaping it for you to go, oh, I wish I could just properly and accurately remember that early moment in my life.
I guess the performances, because there were so many of them,
Mm.
and they're doing the arena days, doing with Junior Vasquez. There's so many of them that was just like, I did like 10 shows a night, so it was kind of like this like crazy
10
sporadic
shows a night.
10 shows a night every Saturday night. Yeah.
Oh
And
God.
so, but it was like, by myself with Junior and, numbers and outfits and da da da. It was just crazy. It got
Mm.
crazy. And it was so much fun. But I just remember, I what I remember is me like afterwards just being so
Yeah.
worn out, but with so much joy because it brought so much joy to people. And, that's what people talk about it to this day. I don't
Yeah.
know how I did it, to be honest with you.
I think my
You know.
ankles are swelling from just hearing about it, to be honest. The balls of my feet are just like slowly but surely
I
aching.
know. And we did. I would start at 4 a.m. in the morning. We'd leave there at like 3 in the afternoon. It's crazy.
After parties. These kids nowadays, they don't know nothing.
No, they don't know what after hours really is, darling. Okay, trust.
Let's talk about those shows though with Junior and is there a sort of take us to an example of the sorts of performances that you do and the reactions
Well,
that you'd get and what you would sort of trying to achieve from those performances? What was the point of it all?
the point of it all was to scare the straight folks. So we had but from 9 till 4, there was all straight crowd, and so they brought me in to bring to welcome all the gay kids and to actually to tell the. This is so bad. I should not say this, but it was like boys can stay, girls can go.
Oh, it was a different time.
Well, the divas could stay. The real fierce girls could stay, but
Yeah.
all the boys could go, and they would stay. I mean, but the Rick Rack would leave. And so I was there to kind of scare them in the beginning. But then I would do my opening performance, which was just me welcoming everybody to the club, and then it would just go. It would just be this long list of songs that I would perform because Junior would play forever. So
Yeah, yeah.
it was like incredible, incredible, incredible.
What sort of
Yeah.
tracks are we talking about?
Who do you love? I remember debuting Who Do You Love for the first time in New York and having to teach it to Deborah Cox.
Oh my goodness.
And she was like, she was an R&B singer, so she didn't know about this dance record. And the Blue Cantrell, Hit 'em Up Style, all these songs that just like I hated Peace Train by Dolly Parton. I hated that record so much. I was like would run downstairs, but it was just like that, and then my own records, Conti and Dendata, of course,
Hmm.
and which was always a big moment. And then there would be this come together thing with the Beatles that he did that would be so incredible that I would jump inside this big this toy thing, and I would popped my head. I don't know if you've seen videos of that. Well, it's on YouTube. They
Yeah.
did a video of that, and
What is that with the Beatles mashup or something?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, definitely come together, come together. Yeah. So I remember when Princess Diana died. We did a huge, 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 huge like club funeral for her. That
No
was just like
way.
that was incredible, incredible,
Take us to
incredible.
that. What
It
was
was.
involved in that?
She died. I think she passed away on a Friday, and that Saturday night was just like everybody wore white, and we just like did a procession, everything, and we just had this crown there, and we everybody came to visit it, and they would just say these things, and then we put the crown on the disco ball, and
Mhm.
just sent her on her way. You know what I mean? We were gagging. We loved her so much.
I'm just trying to
We
find
loved her
out.
so.
It was so
I
yeah.
think
She
she died
died on
around
the 31st of August, 1997, which apparently was a Sunday.
Sunday. Okay,
Yeah.
so that makes sense because Saturday, and then Sunday was the next following week. Yes, the next following week.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah.
And everybody wore
Wow.
white. Was everybody in
Everybody,
the club wearing white as well?
yeah, everybody wore white. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody wore white. It
That's
was incredible.
incredible.
Yeah, it was incredible.
It sounds like we could just talk forever about all the different types of events that you put on and
Yeah.
how immersive they were.
Oh my God. It was just kind of like, we did the Dangerously Liaison, which was like all this, big wigs and like French outfits and like, very naughty, naughty, like Vivian Westwood on crack type feeling. And then, I was always very scantily clad anyway. So it was just
Yeah.
kind of like, I remember one time I did this performance where I had all this paint, like, what do you call it, latex paint?
Yeah.
Someone gave me tons of it, all these colors and stuff. So I thought I would do an art piece, And I'm sitting there pouring it all over my body. I'm butt naked. I'm pouring it all over my body, pouring it over my body, and I pour it right in my eye. And that was it.
Oh,
And that was it. And I was like, oh, girl. So
oh
I just
God,
stood there
God.
so I could like pull it out of my eye.
Oh God! How did you get? Did you have to go to hospital, or was it
No, 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 no,
all in a
no.
night's work? All in a night's
Yeah.
work.
It was just very like, girl, you are crazy. Everything was
In
in the light in front of people, so I had to deal with it.
yeah,
It was crazy.
incredible, absolutely incredible stories. Obviously you're so intertwined and in a huge part of ballroom culture. I feel like I want to talk about your house, what the culture means to you. You one of the pioneers as
So,
well, I suppose. Or do you
oh,
see
okay,
yourself
okay,
as one of
okay.
that?
Let's hold up, hold up, hold up. Let me tell you the story, girl. So, there's a big story with this. The story is this: I'm from the House of Aviance, and we are very much a house in the sense of like gathering kids and being a family and stuff like that. But most of us, we're not really much of a walking house ball. A walking house, we mean the balls and stuff. I I got a lot of trauma and a lot of being judged that I never really had to deal with ever. It
Mm.
was always like I didn't understand it, and and I wasn't very ballroom in the beginning. So they were, I remember walking my first ball. They were like, "Giddy up, Clydesdale! Giddy up, Clydesdale! Linda Blair, Linda Blair!" Like it was like I was like gagging, and so I didn't walk a ball for like a year or two after that, and then
What
tried
did
to
they
do it
mean by
again.
that? Was because like I don't
I
understand
was
that.
a beast, okay, a beast, okay. And I was the beast. I was not fine tuned yet. I was
Right.
had these really low heels on. It was the first time I've been drags. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really they're like giddy up, Clydesdale. I was like, ah, Anheuser Busch. They said. Like it was amazing. I'll never forget that. Well, that really sent me to the rafters. So the next time, so I'm scared of the ballroom, but I love the ballroom. I loved it. I lived for it. The next time, now I have done Cunty, I had done Dindada,
Uh-huh.
I had done the big clubs and everything around the world and stuff like that. And then they did this huge exhibit here in New York at the Bronx Museum, and then it was about ballroom. And they had a timeline, this Bible timeline thing, and on it says Kevin Aviance creates Cunty, becomes a staple. I'm like, what? I do what? I had no idea. And then Donna becomes Hannah's performance. What? What are you talking about? Like these two songs are so staples to this day
Yeah.
of the ballroom. So that's what made me legendary in the ballroom scene.
I mean, that's good to know. At least you know that
Yeah.
that this is how you've made your mark on it.
And then, but still, I've not received my tens yet, ever. Okay. Finally, there was a ball, club performance, da 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 da. I walked in and got my tens finally, and I was like, thank
Oh,
God, girl. But
and
Misty, when I
never
tell you
again.
that, but the thing about it, ballroom is like when you're a nightlife person, and I go to balls all the time. It's just that I just did not. They were really harsh, really, really harsh. And the
Mm,
way, when you're already part of a house and everything, it's just kind of like, my house was very in DC where we're from. We did have balls there, but it was kind of like there's nothing like the real ones in New York. You know what I
mm.
mean? So it's kind of what it is. But I will say that everybody knows the story. Everybody's very respectful to me, and I still legendary. And so it's all good. So yeah,
You're
I've judged a lot of
legendary for
balls.
your own reason, but
Yeah,
not for
because
walking.
the fact of the matter, people need to do other things in the ballroom. There are people need my MCs and
Uh-huh.
DJs and stuff. So there's other jobs to do in the ballroom.
Oh
So
God, yeah. I mean, it's the whole community. You got the people who make the outfits. You got the judges
yeah,
and making the
and
trophies and
and
everything.
and then what I love about it is that they're so protective of their own. Like you can't just come and think you're going to be, take part of it and do something with it without. They're like, girl, go sit down. This is for us. This is our space. Sit down.
So what
So.
do you think about the sort of like waves of appreciation that come and go and ebb and flow? You know, ever since the 80s and 90s, and now there's a lot more appreciation again, and it
Mhm.
comes and goes. Especially, a lot of the terminology, the culture,
Right.
is co-opted by either
Right.
gay men or now
Yeah.
it's all over TikTok. Every girl in around the
Right.
world seems to know how to kiki now.
Yeah. Well,
What do you think about that?
obviously they don't really know how to kiki, so they get red, because you have to tell them what exactly you're doing. You don't know what you're saying, and you don't know what you're doing. So when you teach them, they go, "Oh, well, I thought that was like no,
Yeah.
honey, it's not just because of a silent clap.
Are
This
they
is
doing the
not."
clock it thing? And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
This clocking thing is very personal. It's a very like we approve what you do, and we're gonna keep it going, keep it moving. But we see you, even though you didn't get it, we see you. So it's
mhm,
it's a thing that keeps you going. You know what I mean? But people are just like they're like this, and I'm like, no, 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 no. And another thing is that remember when the Met Gala had that big thing about a comedy, and they talk about fashion and what was it, fashion and comedy or something like that,
yeah,
and all that stuff came from Black drag queens. You know
mm,
what I mean? All that, and so when you don't tell the history the way it is, you know what I mean? It's hard for people to really understand all that stuff. You know what I mean?
mm,
And when you hear that stuff where it actually comes from, it's like, oh, then you understand how that all is to happen. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So I make sure that I am not too much sometimes, and then try to go with the flow and things. But you can't when you see something, you can't. It's not the right way. It's hard not to say something. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Because you really want people to represent it well, and you want people to understand. No, there's a history that goes with all this,
yeah,
and just because you got up in a pair of pumps and you can vote, it's like, no, you need to know why you're voting. You need to know why your hands are going across and you're doing dips and all that stuff. It's like you can't, and throwing their bodies on the ground. Like some people don't need to throw. Why does everybody need to throw their bodies on the ground? Some people don't need to get on the ground at all. It's just, your back is going to kill you later on, girl. You're
chiropractors
going
are
to have
making a
problems.
killing from these
Yeah,
queens and people
you're going to
destroying
gag.
themselves.
You're going to gag, girl. I mean, I had to have my hips replaced because of high heels already. So you know what I mean?
Really, both hips.
Both hips, honey. I used to
No
be
way.
24/7 in heels, so that's why. You
Ah,
know, on concrete, 6-inch stilettos, girl, the whole time.
worth it or
It was back then. It was. It looked over, but now I'm a platform girl. You know what I mean?
yeah, get the platforms on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a platform girl. I can't go straight up and down now. So.
No. I mean, it's interesting, we're talking about, how, the culture, goes global and disseminates and, is passed on and lives on and, becomes immortal, it becomes part of everything. It's sort of like, how I imagine Polari. There's an old, I don't know if you know that Polari in UK. It's sort of like gay language.
Uh huh.
Um,
You do.
it's sort of like Cockney rhyming slang. I don't know if they had it in America or not. I only knew it in the UK. And
They have
so like,
pig Latin here, the pig Latin stuff. So
oh right, yeah. So like I said, the equivalent here was Polari, and those words still live on, but like in normal English speech now.
you
So
know what what I really feel about the whole thing is it's like okay, I don't know what anything that's in this world that a gay man did not, or that some comes from our culture that one way or another has seeped into the real world. That I mean, anything with flair and key or drama or
mm,
outfit or clothes, it comes from us. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So people need to understand that we are really the magical people. We are the ones with the brains. We're the ones that can really like develop for entertainment, for beauty, for the sense of anything. I really don't know what we can't do. You know what I mean? And for when it seeps into the real world,
mm.
it's like they don't give us the credit the justice that we need. You know what I mean? It's like that's why I had a problem. Like, people were getting married and stuff like that and having kids, and they went from like Abercrombie and Fitch and all this stuff and Dolce Gabbana. It's just like what happened to the original fag? Where is that that fag was just like, that could, paint and draw and sing and dance and look fierce and do it all in couture and be back and forth and have tons of boyfriends. It's just like
Do you
those
think it's
days are
all just sort of
gone.
gone a bit homogenous now? Like, right, the
Yes,
more we've
of
got
course it
rights.
has. Of
Yeah,
course it
yeah.
has. Yeah. You
Interesting.
know.
I mean, it's interesting. I was going to touch on the fact, that whilst these things go global, it's a great thing as in one way. I mean, look at you, your art and your music has been re-honored by none other than Beyonce. In the last few years, and I mean, you must have been asked 10 million times about how that's made you feel.
Oh my
Um,
God. Do you know that because of that, I came back to New York after my surgery and everything, and came back to New York and found myself trying to get back on this pole again, and which means performing and stuff. And kids were like, "Oh, you're legendary. Oh, yeah, yeah." And they weren't letting me through anymore. It's like things had changed in New York.
mm,
Everything's in Brooklyn. Things have changed. It was crazy. I was like, okay, I could do. They were like not letting me through. And so then quietly, I started. Then COVID happened, and COVID was a major thing. So I sat there and I learned how to DJ and came out there and I lost my best friend Ari Gold and I was just gagging. And then, then the Beyonce stuff happened and I was like, girl, wow. That was like, wow. That
mm.
came out of nowhere. I didn't know anything about it. And the producer knew about it. And when I found out about it, I passed out in the middle of my room when I listened to the album. That's how I found out, listening to the album.
Oh my
And
God.
I gagged, girl. I
Well,
gagged.
after it was
I got
released, or
past.
had they sent you it?
No, I went and bought it, girl. And then I'm listening to it and gagging. Woke up because it was just they just released it, and I'm hearing the whole album. I said, this thing sounds so fierce and so familiar. It was making me cry. I was living for the album. Then it gets to that track, girl. I gagged and passed out in my bedroom on the floor, gagged.
I mean, that's the definition of it, isn't it? Flipping
Like
heck.
when I came out of it, I was mad, I was happy, I was upset, crying, I was going through the emotions, like just gagging. And
Yeah.
then come to find out that, my producer, he was the one who knew about it, and he was already on vacation already and all this bullshit. But anyway,
Did he not think
so
to
I
like
was
tell you? Like or was
no,
he
no, no, no,
was he
they wanted
keeping it
to
as a
no.
surprise or what?
He was. I don't want. You know what? I don't want to talk about that part of it
Oh right, okay.
because he got fierce, girl. I'm gonna say that. That's all I'm gonna say. But you know what? I will say that I got the presto from all this, so that's what
Good.
the really listened to the world. And
And you
Miss
got your
Beyonce did me.
flowers, and I hope you made some money out of it.
Oh my God, yeah, of course. Beyonce set me up love. It was amazing. She's so fab. She's such an amazing person. And
Good.
she did a lot. So apparently she listened to all my music. But I think that one of the main reasons because her Uncle Johnny raised her, right? And I can see she knew the record. And I think she knew it from him because she knew all house music and stuff like
Wow.
that. So, that's what she listened to at the house when he was take care of her. So
Good old
yeah.
gay Johnny, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You said that you came back to New York after all that. You're learning to DJ.
Mhm.
You're doing a boiler
That's
room,
what.
right? You did a boiler room.
Yeah, I did Boiler Room during
Come on,
COVID, and
girl. Come on.
that was amazing. I mean, that came out of nowhere. Because that was Beyonce, so the people just wanted me to come through, and so now I'm doing all these places, and I'm actually doing studio this weekend. Next weekend, I'm doing the animal. I've been everywhere, so things are going really well, and it's giving me another type of performance. I mean, I didn't know I could do it. Already had the music. I had tons of music I always collected, but
Mm.
I just never really thought about me DJing because I never really had the thought of it. And then the reason I started DJing because I really was getting tired of listening to people other music playing. So I knew there was other music to hear. So I was like going and searching for it, and it just like I did it all online on. I wouldn't fuck up really bad, but from what people told me, they said they always had a good time watching me and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
the money was good during COVID. I was like, I was making a lot of money too. It was really great.
Oh,
So
God, I'm
yeah,
glad. Yeah.
yeah.
There's so many people lost out there, but like it's important, isn't it? And I'm glad that you've always collected music. Take me to like a couple of the tracks where they're like
Oh my
really
God,
formative for you that really like you can
that
imagine,
really did it
the
for me.
ones
Okay,
the ones
so
that
my
you like
favorite
sort of
track,
you play to
my
death.
my favorite track in the whole world is the Donna Summer MacArthur's Park Suite.
Ooh,
The
MacArthur
15
Park.
minute, the MacArthur Park Suite, the 14-minute version.
Oh, right, yeah.
With the one of a kind and all that stuff. That's my favorite track in the whole world. So, then I have all my Basement Boy days that I love. So, the Tonight and all the Alternate records, her first album,
Oh,
oh, not gonna do it, dun, not gonna do. Oh, I live with that. Or You're Useless. I live for that track. That's from the UK.
love,
So,
love, love Ultranate, yeah.
also, there's also those. I mean, I used to go to Turnmills a lot back in the day, in London. We used to fly to London like it was nothing, right? And back in the day, we would get on a flight, go to Turnmill, and leave right afterward. It was so fab, girl,
Do
so
not say that
fab.
you flew to London, go out, then fly back to New York.
Yeah, like it was nothing. It was so cheap. It was so fierce, girl.
Oh, that's insane.
It was amazing. It was so chic. I loved it so much.
Very chic,
Turnmill,
very chic.
Turnmills, Turnmills was everything. What was that party called? It was called not. It's called something with a T, right? Turnmills, but the part it was
Um,
at Turnmills,
was it
but it
Trade?
was Trade.
Trade. That
Yes,
was held at the
girl.
Turnmills,
Woo!
yeah.
Girl, I used to live for that party.
There's so
And
many
then
gay
sometimes
deal
we'll say,
listeners, whenever they say, what night would you bring back? They always go, trade, trade, trade.
oh my God. Then the music would speed up at the end of it, be really, really fast, and it would end it. I was like, oh my God, that was so fierce. and then we would go, if we would stay the night, we would go to the TBM later on. You know what I mean? So
Sounds
yeah, it was
incredible.
so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah. It really does sound like you've been quite mindful and you've enjoyed those moments and you remember them and you've taken all that joy through and kept it going, even through, like tougher times.
Well, I really have no reason to be upset, girl. I mean, I've almost died a couple of times, so
It's what I mean. Like, you've like the rest of us, especially in the queer community, you've had
right.
your fair share of hate as well,
Yeah, yeah. And so what I know is that I do know that it's already all right. That's what the elders back in my hometown they say. It's already all right. Okay, first of all,
Yeah.
and no matter what, just know that as long as you got God in your life, then you're okay. And I do have God in my life. I always have been, and I'm from that world. So I try so hard to just remember how I was brought up and how my mother, who's no longer with us, Miss Audrey, um, how she want me to be. You know what I mean? And I strive to just keep it cute. And I've not made always the best decisions, and God knows I've had my share of kikis and carried on and snortings and things. So and party favors and stuff like that. But I for by the grace of God, I'm still here, and
Mm,
and it's a different Kevin, and it's still intense. I love to go out, I love to dress up, I love all that stuff. So
yeah.
it's just that it just feels different because I am older. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
it doesn't have that bargain basement feeling anymore.
I'm
You know
having
what's
the
so
best
fierce
time.
though? When I became Club Kid of the World, Lee Bowery gave me that award. I'll never forget that. That was an amazing night.
What
I was
was
just like,
which night was
it was
that?
the Club Kid convention, and it was called Style Summit, and everybody was here for 3 days. And I was still living in DC at the time. And at the end of it, they named the king and queen, and the king was wallpaper, and the queen was me. and
Nice.
Lee Bowery gave me the award. It was amazing, girl. I
What
love
year
Lee
was
so
that? Do
much.
you remember?
Girl, I don't know, girl. That ecstasy pill was fierce, girl. Those 10 wafers really let me have it, girl. Girl, I don't know. I can't remember the dates, girl. All I know is that I was wearing the three outfits I wore was I went as like a Spider-Man queen, and then I went as Iman the Klingon. Can you imagine? Iman the Klingon, like with the forehead and everything, dressed. It was really crazy. And then I had this like pink bubblegum gown on at the end of it, and it was just
Yeah.
like that was my introduction to the ballsness, when I started being balls, and that was it. I was a
Yeah, it's a
baby.
whole new another level unlocked when you realize that you can make this work.
Girl, when I started doing drag, I was wearing double D titties, uh, 4 or 5 wigs. I love the mud flap girl. That was like my image of the silhouette
Yeah.
because I love silhouette, but I love it when the light came on you. It was like, oh my God, what is that? So I like to scare. Yeah. And my first drag day was grape soda. So it's kind of like,
Grape soda.
yeah, grape soda.
Very cute. Just having the best time hearing about all this. Like I mean, what does it mean to you? Like nightlife culture. Then, and you've seen it grow and change and adapt. From all the sort of club kid days that you went through, even through COVID. You've been DJing, and where it is now. Where do you sort of
Well,
see it? What do you think the state of queer nightlife is for you, either in New York
what
or wherever
I
else
do
you've
love that
been?
I'm behind. I do love that I'm behind the decks, and I'm the one giving out the energy or the feeling for the night. I do love that part of it because just being there in the club, I would not want to be there just being in the club now. It's just a different feeling now.
Yeah.
And back then, I went to different clubs. I went to the black clubs. I went to the straight clubs. I went to the gay clubs. I went to the club kid clubs. I would go to all types of clubs. So it wasn't just like one type of club. Now it's kind of like club culture. It's like homogenous. It's like the same thing. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
not gay. They're not straight. They're just kind of like people and young kids. And everybody's la, 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 hee, hee, hee. So I bring my memories with me, and that's great. I do miss the disco ball. I wish the disco ball would be more. I
More
wish the disco
disco
ball.
balls. More disco balls. Bring them back.
I wish disco balls would come back. Or some sort of reflected something in the middle of the dance floor where the energy can like instead of just looking at the DJ, you know what I
Mm,
mean? I think that disco ball was it. I think that was the most
yeah.
the most amazing gem in the world was that
And more
disco ball.
smoke as well. I'm sick of these clubs that don't have any smoke or
Yeah,
atmosphere
or
building for the
atmosphere.
lights to
Yeah,
reflect off. What's all that about?
exactly,
Everyone just
exactly.
wants a
Everything's
nice
so
photo now, and I'm like, no
Well,
smoke.
they're so sterile. Like it's so like the lights flash, and I'm like, okay, well, where is the light going, girl? Like it's not going anywhere. It's like put a little smoke up there. It's like I totally agree with you with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally agree.
I wanted to ask you just as we're coming towards the end, because I've got a free flipping Zoom account, so I can't go over 40 minutes. We've spoken about how how important it is for queer people to have those spaces and express themselves, like you've been able to, and see the kids come through, and now they're calling
Right.
you legendary. The current LGBTQ or the current climate for LGBTQ plus people, particularly in the US under
Mhm.
Trump, we've just seen them take down the flag at the Stonewall Inn monument. People fighting back, standing up to. This perceived oppression. How do you feel about, having lived through different political moments, whether that's, the AIDS
I was
crisis,
there
early
doing. I
2000s?
was there doing ACT UP. I was there doing. Therefore, all during AIDS, and of course, and then losing all my friends and all this stuff, and just being there, and then going through that, and then Giuliani and how he closed all the clubs down. You know what I mean? All that stuff. I was the last queen to have a big nightclub in New York City before they really was nothing here anymore. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then everything went to Brooklyn. So I've been through a lot, seen a lot. I just what gags me about the whole thing is that how dare you that you can erase or put people aside that are flourishing and moving to the future, like with blacks or Hispanic, whatever people that are they start a certain way and they keep moving forward, and you trying to stifle them because you feel like because you're not getting what you want. This man, it's unbelievable. Like it's such. a trip is like it's like a bad movie that will not go off.
Mm.
It's the saddest thing I've ever seen. The way he's just like sits on his toilet and the way he just does the truth no the he talks on his socials. The whole thing with Obama. It's like you rude motherfucker. Like you're so rude.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen anybody be so rude and no class whatsoever. And just think that it's just you're going to make America. When was America good? Like when was America? When was America so fierce? I mean, America's always been about doing better, doing better, doing better, doing better. Let's do better. And before he went into office, I do feel life was really interesting. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Life was different. I felt we were going towards the future. America was. It's like I was really hoping we were going to be on our disc flying around like the Jetsons. You know what I mean? And here we are. We just got a Tesla. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like, and they're blowing up everywhere. So it's kind of like to watch all that stuff happen. It's just unreal. And then this Epstein stuff. It's crazy,
Yeah, yeah.
like crazy. And not that I'm close to any of that, but I am close to that because I am black, I am queen, I'm gay, I'm it does affect me and it does you know, I hate seeing people being I don't know. I don't know how I would have made it doing civil rights because of course that was way more intense, I guess, for my people, but um yes, it was way more
Yeah,
intense.
yeah.
But things are just so weird now. You don't even know. Like you have to watch yourself here. You have to watch yourself, watch your back. You don't know what's going to come up around the corner. It was different to Black Lives Matter. That was kind of scary too.
Mm.
Black Lives Matter was kind of weird, but that was a up thing. You know what I mean? The whole world got into that. But this thing is just like Trump is like I don't get it. I don't like the rudeness of it all. So rude.
Yeah.
No class.
Hmm. Very,
Like
very
no matter
classless.
what,
Yeah.
no matter what, let's talk about what we can do to make things better. You know what I mean? I love how these governors are now, they didn't have that dinner because he didn't invite the Democrat governors. That's what I want to see. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. We see people going, no matter what, we're supposed to be there together because we're all governors, period. And that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So I just think that it's just like the Olympics don't even feel good to me this year. They
Mm.
don't
You
feel,
don't
and
feel
I
like you
love
can
the
get
Olympics.
behind it.
No, I just can't. There's so much drama going on. It's like I can't even enjoy the Olympics, and I love the Olympics, but I'm just like this going, oh, girl, I just can't right now.
Can't even
You
enjoy
know?
the gorgeous gymnastic men and oh no, well, it's the winter ones, isn't it? So
Yeah,
they're all
what do
ski
I? It's
jumping.
all. It's our ladies that
The
are really turning. The lady boys that are just like that boy that won the gold. He is Terry. It's like what's that movie with Ring of Fire? I don't know that skating movie.
oh yeah, with the
I
figure
said
skating, yeah.
yeah.
Can you imagine if they did it to Cunty as well? That'd be so
I know
good,
I
wouldn't it?
would, girl. I would live. Well, one of the gymnastic girls did Dendata, so that was interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing!
Yeah, she was really great to Dendata. Just I forgot what her name was, but she really turned
Yeah.
it. So
Well, shout out to the fruity, fabulous ice skating troops. So just before I think we finish, I'm going to do a couple of quick fires,
right.
just sort of take us down. Give me a song that instantly takes you back to a specific ball. Is there something that goes boom, takes me back to a ball or a
To a ball,
performance?
to a performance or a ball? Which one?
Let's do a performance.
A performance would be the Who Do You Love, of course. Who Do You Love? The Deborah Cox.
Oh right, yeah, lovely track.
Yeah.
What sort of thing were you doing then?
Oh my God. There was at the beginning of the track, there'd be like this, it's like somebody knocking on the door, boom, boom, boom. And I would have this huge fan, and I would be like, this is before the kids were clacking with fans before.
Right.
And I would have this fan, and I was just like knocking on the door with my shoe and everything like that. And people were just like, oh, here we go. Here we go. And then I would be, it was so dramatic, and the lights would come down. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. Amazing,
Amazing.
amazing.
Oh
Yeah.
God, there's just so many cool ones in there. How about give me something that you miss about old New York?
I miss the variety of clubs you could go out to a night. There would be like 5 clubs you could go to in one night
Yeah.
on a Thursday night. girl. Like big clubs. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
That's what I miss.
yeah.
That's what I miss.
Yeah, I think
You
that's it
know?
was the same here as well. You could go to like, even in sort of like a mid-sized city in the UK, you could go to like a plethora of big clubs that would hold like 1,000 people each or something
Right.
ridiculous. Yeah. And what
Right.
do you not miss about old New York?
You know what? I was really high back then, to be honest with you, and that was part of the thing. There's no way in hell I would be able to do that now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I definitely think that I thank God I made through it. I had fun and all that stuff, but I did not. It was like one of those things that was just kind of like wearing on me. And
Hmm.
I'm so happy that I don't have that around me much anymore. You know what I mean?
I bet.
It's waves. It was a lot of like experimenting and all this stuff. Thank God I'm still here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
I want to talk about your legacy as well, because very soon you're going to be honored in a really special way, aren't you? Do you want to tell us
yes.
about it?
There's a new place called the CB, and Q, the QBCC, QNCC, yeah, QNCC, the Queer Nightlife Council Commission. I'm going to get it wrong. Well, there's this new space that's for the community,
Uh
for
huh.
nightlife community, to go and to express themselves in. They have talks at. They have talks there. They have parties there. They have a
Hmm.
huge party this Friday with
The Queer
you
Nightlife
have
Community Center.
right.
Yeah.
And this place is huge. Okay, it's in Brooklyn, and it is like the guys that are running it. They've got the city behind them, the state behind them. So they're funding queer folks to come, queer nightlife folks to come and express yourself on a night. And they give you the whole night, and they bring up your art and everything like that. So I'm going to be inducted into their Hall of Fame. First one.
Oh.
And so with along with two other people that I really can't talk about, but just say, just say, hopefully justify my love and nightclubbing would be the two that are going to be there, as also the other nightlife
So you're going to
people.
be, so the people you're going to be honored with are also people that are super special to you.
No, 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 no.
No?
You didn't get what I said.
No, no.
Because what I said, because I'm justifying my love and night clubbing.
Ah, right. Okay.
These two people are also going to be inducted into this Hall of Fame too, type thing. So
I
that's
see.
going to be really great, really great. So,
I
they-
think
so
I
they're doing
understand.
that. They're
I
doing
think I
it.
get
They're
it
doing
now.
it. Doing it in. They're doing it in October now. So
I see. Oh, in
yeah.
October, because it was going to be in April, wasn't it?
Right. 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 Right.
Right. I see. Well, wonderful. I'm just very happy that you are getting some more flowers, and I think that you're going to continue to as well. What do you think that, like, we spoke about at the beginning of our chat about, what you think people know you for? What do you want people to know you for in, I don't know, say 50 years' time?
That I always brought it. Period. Whatever it was. Period. Point blank. Because that's what it's all about. You
Yeah.
bringing it, and showing up and turning it out. That's what it's about, girl.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to do it, then you shouldn't be doing it. And if you don't do it full out and give your whole heart, like giving it all out there and just giving it to and then turning it out at the same time,
Hmm.
so people can go, oh, but that's what it's all about, girl. You know
I
what I
mean, like,
mean?
there's a lot of us who like wear like, we know about turning it out and drawing confidence. Even when we might not feel it inside. Painting it on. How would you say
Right.
to somebody who's like deathly like wants to be that person who turns it out, brings it, and is fierce and
Good luck.
embodying ferocity?
Good
How can
luck.
they?
Good luck, because it's not easy.
Yeah.
And when you do find your niche, and you find yourself, because it takes a lot of searching and it takes a lot of you saying, yes, I am who I am. And I'm doing,
Right.
because the people are going to say, no, you're not, girl.
Hmm.
They're there to knock you down too. So you have steadfast, stay strong, and go through. But you have to come with substance. You can't just be something that's just like, my name is Aviance, not Avion. You can't see through me, darling. Okay, so I, I don't, I understood that more and more the more I got started traveling and started seeing other people, seeing other club people, to seeing the world. When you don't travel, could you imagine how stifling you like? and you live on the streets and you live from seeing things, how you don't get to see other things, or the only reason I've been around the world is because of clubs, or because of performing. It's like it's such a blessing. Been everywhere except for Africa, but I've been
Yeah.
everywhere and just like been welcomed because of what I do. So that is just like inside itself just an amazing thing. You know what I mean? I
Mm,
don't know how else I would have seen the world. You know what I mean?
yeah. Um, I'm in awe of your energy, and I just think that it's. I hope that somebody listening to this is going to get a little bit of that. And I love that you said good luck, because it is tough, isn't it? When you're not, you don't always feel that way, but you've just got to sort of like go for it and try and bring it. And
But
and
doesn't anything that you do, like
yeah,
anything that you do in life, you start off not knowing. And of course, there was no handbook. Okay, so it's kind of like you know you have to go through the motions of it. You know what I mean? And if it means something to you, and you will hold on to it. You know what I mean? There's so many people that did not get to do anything in our community. You know what I mean? That
yeah,
just got
yeah,
their lives cut off. It's like it would be a if I didn't come out here to do the best I can, to learn the most I can, to serve it the way I have to serve it, what was the point of these other people living that lived their lives that just weren't able to do it? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I feel I have a responsibility for that. You know what I mean? To live to live it all the way through and turn it out.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't take it lightly at all. Still to this day, I don't
yeah.
at all.
I can hear why, and that makes so much sense. And I bet a lot of folks can identify with that. Living life, it's to be done. We've only got one that we know of, so let's
And you
crack
know
on.
what? And God bless the people that become jaded and they stop and they don't do anything now anymore. They don't go out anymore. And I see those people and I go, oh, and they go, oh, it's not like it used to be. No, you stopped. You stopped, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine. But things change, and you move on. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so you just have to find a way to integrate. You want to keep going. Of course, you have to do things that you did when you
Yeah,
were
if you
20.
stop going and being a part of it, it's going to change without you.
Of course, of course. So you gotta you know, I say don't let go of the music. If one thing you don't do, just don't let go of the music. If you stay close to the music, whether you're doing the clubs or what, stay close because the music's still out there. The music is still bringing it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, and it's even all the new songs. It's like I love getting new music. It's like amazing,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing, amazing.
You've done obviously tracks with Honey Dijon,
Yes.
reworking your Cunty classic, which was fab, by the way. You've even
Thank
just done
you.
with, was it Adelphi Music Factory, I think?
Yes, and then also the Airwolf and Dada.
Sorry,
Just
Airworld Paradise. That's it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
What's to come?
It's well, I just released my Hippopotamus album in October. So that is like, that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I also will be releasing Club Hippopotamus. Well, the instrumentals and the acapellas are coming out in a month. And so that's another album by itself. And then the Club Hippopotamus, where we take all the songs and we added 5 more songs. And it's going to be a continuous club night. So it's called Club
Ooh, so
Hippopotamus,
it's gonna be all mixed together.
all mixed together. And it's called Club
Yeah.
Hippopotamus. So that's going to be Club Hip. Club Hip. You were going to call it Club Henrietta, but I said no. Let's not do that. So let's just call Henrietta the Hippo, and
Is
I was going to
she?
call yeah, Henrietta. I was trying to. I didn't want to be like too literal, so we're going to call it Club Hippopotamus,
Yeah.
and so make that. Hopefully that will get me some sort of recognition with the boards and everything everywhere. So I'll be excited about that.
Well, thank.
Yeah.
Well,
But I love creating music. I love making music. I'm working with this new girl. I'm writing music for other people. This girl named Candy, who's like, it's amazing. And so we're shooting a bunch of pictures with her today, and I'm excited about that. And I wrote some songs for some other people that I can't talk about. So people are very they tap in. They want a piece. So I just give it to them. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. They don't get it. It's fine. I don't. You know, it didn't really bother me at all. So, but I just love that they call and they're like, "Oh, Kevin, can you do you have anything? Yeah, I have some things. Here's some things." And it doesn't really always work out, but
yeah, yeah.
we'll see. We'll
I'm
see.
glad
We'll
that they
see.
want a piece, and I'm glad I got to get my little slice today. Uh, I've had a
you know,
ball. What a
You
lovely
gotta like,
time.
girl, you gotta give out your pieces, girl. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Kevin, it's been wonderful. If you do ever swing by anywhere near Gadio Towers, we'd love to welcome you in. It'd be lovely. Thanks so much, and
Thank you, sweetheart.
we'll end the podcast here. So we'll see you soon, Kevin.
Live, darling.
Au
Live, 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 live,
revoir.
live. Carry on, mama. Country forever. Bye.